Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Article Reactions. Some of the articles will be informative, some will be shocking, and some may just make you shake your head. We will be starting shortly. You do have the opportunity to financially support the channel in order to help it grow. So, in the very least of that manner, please like, share, and subscribe. Join Char, Willie, and Classic Ruby for their radio show, Keep the Beat. They broadcast every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CRBJ, Classic R&B Jams. There are discussions of the songs, and that can take you back down memory lane. If you missed the live broadcast, no worries. Replays are uploaded on Mixcloud. So, follow Just Act Char Advice channel on Mixcloud, and you will receive the notification when these broadcasts are uploaded. So, thank you everyone for joining the show. We are about to get started.
Greetings. What's happening, everyone? How are you? Hope you're having a great Saturday. The time is moving kind of quick if you look at it. It is what, dusk dark now? You'll be turning on that light in what, about half hour or so? 40 minutes tops. Oh yeah. The days are getting shorter. Bring them back. Oh no. That's why I said fall is here. People talking about some winter is here. I'm like, well, fall comes first. Don't you agree? Well, I do hope that you guys are doing well. Come on in, take your seat. Got some articles for you. Um, Today I made today a little relaxation day. Not really, but sort of. I had half of the day doing chores, laundry. What I do? Laundry, vacuum, UPS store. I got one more thing to do. See, that's what you get. Oh, I got some stuff to, throw in the trash that just needs to go into the actual dumpster. Not just the little trash thing, the bin. You need to get rid of this. So it's a piece of equipment. I need to dispose of that. And I've already relaxed, lounging in my clothes and everything. And I'm like, darn, I got to put my clothes back on to get rid of this darn thing. Darn. Oh, well, you got to do what you got to do. But anyway, I was watching this show earlier. I'm almost done with the season 4. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Billions. I think it's an Amazon only type of show series, and I like to binge watch stuff. I don't like to do that weekly thing. I just do not. So I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait, and then I binge watch when I have some time. And I started doing that about maybe 10. Has it been 10 years? This 2001. Yeah, about 10 years. I started just binge watching series instead of doing it weekly, and I enjoy it that way because I be wanting to know what's next. I don't want to have to come back next week, and then next week, and then next week. I don't want to do all of that, so I do all my binge watching, and I enjoy it. It's really enjoyable. And but Billions is really a great show. You got to check it out if you have not. Season 4, I think, was maybe 2 years ago or a year and a half, because a lot of people could not do their filming because of the pandemic. Everything has been, set aside. You just have to wait. But I enjoy it. It's it kind of keeps you on the edge of the seat to see how a billionaire thinks and at what kind of risk he's willing to take, how far he's willing to go, all the players involved. It's really cool. So I got about 30 more minutes left of the last episode of season 4. And then season 5, I'll watch it next year It just started. I think they're on the. I think this is week 2. So sometimes next year, maybe June. I guess they'll be definitely be done, and I'll just binge watch season 5. And I used to do that on vacation, just bring things with me and just binge watch. But it was kind of cool. Yeah, kind of cool. But also with cleaning, oh boy, it's not all fun and games. So you gotta trick yourself when you do the cleaning. So what I used to do, and I still do it, you put on your favorite CD. That's what you do. You say, this is what I want to see. Oops, just 1 second. So what I used to do is I used to put on Al Green. Anybody know about Al Green? You don't know nothing about that. You know nothing about Al Green. So I used to put on Al Green every Friday. I put that CD on, open up my DVD player because you can play it on your DVD player, and I push the button and get the cleaning. It worked out for me. And this song is so old, but I love it. I'm Still in Love with You by Al Green. It's on that greatest hits CD where he's sitting in a wicker chair. Everything is white, the chair, the rug, what he's wearing. He just sitting up there chilling. And I put that CD in, and I think that's the first song that plays because that came to mind as soon as I thought about the CD. Because I was going to play it today when I started cleaning up, but I chose something else. But it still brought back memories. I got to look for that CD because I still have CDs. I know some of you all have just gone strictly digital, but hey, I'm not throwing nothing out. I could sell it, but this is a classic. I can't get rid of Al. I can't get rid of Al. I got to keep Al. Put that CD in and hear that music and then start singing while dusting. Sing it with me if you know the lyrics. Spending my days. I know you know nothing. You don't know nothing about that, do you? Thinking about you, girl. And I start cleaning. And the song is kind of short, like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And about time it's over and I'm singing and humming, I'm on the other side of the room. I finished dusting half of the room. So that's the secret in cleaning. Try to make it as fun as possible. Do what you can. It's kind of cool. Check it out, y'all. All right. So without further ado, let me get the music going because we got to really greet our Jamaican Canadian. And I always question that. Is it Canadian, Jamaican, Jamaican, Canadian? I guess say it how you want. But you know who I'm talking about. Let's get ready, y'all.
Stay down there, girl. Stay down there.
Hey, yeah, yes, me down here. So yes, we will go down there. Okay, so I might educate you, girl. Okay, so the country that you are living in currently, right?
Yes, yes,
That
yes.
is the last country you say, right? So it's like when they say African American or whatever, right? Because you are talking about where do you belong in America. So the country that your ethnicity is from or that you immigrated from is said first, and then the country you live in is said second. So Jamaican Canadian.
Yeah, I thought that how it was, but I don't know. I like Canadian Jamaican better.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm pretty much a Canadian. I don't belong in this country. It's too damn cold. It's too damn cold. Too damn cold. You know what? Hold on. Listen. I gotta give a special shout out though to someone in the chat. Okay, it's gonna
Uh-huh.
come with a horrible song. I was considering because I knew she would be here today.
All
I was gonna
right.
play a song on YouTube, but you know what? I decided I'm gonna sing it instead. Are we
All
ready?
right. Hit it.
Baby beluga in the deep blue sea, Swim so wild and swim so free. Heaven above and the sea below. And a little Zula Beluga on the go. What's up, Azula in the house?
Yippee!
This girl felt like she is not even like a little bit hiding, or she just fell off of like a cliff like 3 years ago and no one's seen her. So what's up, girl? What's up? So glad to know you're alive. This is great. Amazing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am glad to see her too. I had when I saw her in the chat, I kind of paused. I'm like, should I just say it out loud? Should I just type it? I don't know, because I welcome everyone. I was just so excited. I'm like, I'm glad she's doing well. Yay!
Right? Oh my god, Zula! I know. So I was like, should I do something proper? And I'm like, that doesn't sound like me. So you got the horrible song. The worst part is I can sing. So if I wanted it to sound good, I could have made that happen. That's not what I wanted.
Yeah, me
Zula.
too. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Oh,
guys, Char's lying. Don't believe her.
Hey, I give you 45 seconds. I know my limit, but when I sang my Al Green, I only sang one line. I still had about 39 and a half seconds left. But you know what I did? I just stopped.
Sometimes one line is way more than enough. You know what I mean? Sometimes it can even be too much. They say silence is golden. So I'm just saying, while our producer isn't here, to speak, I'm going to speak for him. Silence is golden, Char. Silence is golden. All right.
But I wanted to take people back to the day of Al Green. They ain't know nothing about that. Do you understand that song is at least 40 years old? I was a little girl singing that song. At least 8 years old, I was singing that song. Well, humming to it because I didn't know the lyrics. So I was just da 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 with my parents. And now today I can actually sing it. See? Okay. Well,
listen, it's your show. I can't physically stop you, right? But I'm just going to say that if you want people to know what the song actually sounds like, you in particular might want to actually play the real song. That's all I'm saying. I'm not calling you tone deaf or anything. I don't have to because your voice speaks for itself. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's it.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. Next week I'm gonna have a sample for you so you can listen to a little Al Green, because that's my jam. I love me some Al Green. So I'm gonna play a little bit next week. How about that?
Okay, that's fair. I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, disaster averted. All right, we're great. It's good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I never.
Hopefully, no.
Saying you never will, lady.
Right? Yeah, I love that. Music to my ears. Okay, so.
Dang. Well, I'm going to start off because I'm not sure if I discussed this one or not. I think I had, because there's so much with this bird watching case. I just don't recall if I mentioned it again. I think, it's hard to keep up. That's all I'm going to say. If it's a little repeat, it's just a little repeat. You'll be all right. It's not going to hurt you. Let me see if it will share for me correctly, because you know how these Yahoo pages are. They'll move around, which is doing. Okay, there she is. You guys remember this lady, the bird watcher? Hey, where's the volume on?
Describes himself as an avid bird watcher. Tells NBC station WNBC he was in the park when he asked Amy Cooper, no relation, to put her dog on a leash.
If the habitat is destroyed, we won't be able to go there to see birds, to enjoy the plantings.
Cooper says she refused, and he then offered her dog a treat.
At some point, she decided that, I'm going to play the race card, I guess.
And that's when, he says, he began recording the incident.
Please take your phone off.
Please don't come close to me.
I'm taking a picture of the dog.
When Christian refused to stop recording her, the video shows Amy Cooper grabbing her dog's collar, moving away, and dialing 911.
Please call the cops. Please call the cops.
I'm going to tell them there's an African American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
All right, so I think you guys remember the bird watcher. So she sat up there and lied, clearly. Then the next, they talked about her and everything, and then she's, oh, now she's sorry. And of course, they gave her little or nothing as far as a fine, some counseling classes, but she did lose her corporate job. After she lost her corporate job, I guess she had to wait a whole year, and then after a year, she thought about it and said, "You know what? I'm from the dominant society. I'm always right. It doesn't matter what my behavior is. So what? I'm Central Park Karen. I have rights too." So she came back and she decided to sue her company, and I think that was the last thing I reported. So now, let me see if I can move the thing for you to show you that now she says she had no choice but to call police on the black bird watcher. So that's her new claim now. She had no choice.
Oh, there. Really? That's a okay. I would love to hear the rest of this one. Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's what she said. She had no choice.
No choice. All right.
Okay, let me put her back on the screen as I bring up my page. Give me 1 second so you all can look at old Karen. There's Karen. There she go. All right. The white woman who was recorded on video calling police to claim that a black bird watcher was threatening her in New York City's Central Park last year says she felt she was backed into a corner. What corner? You're in a park. What corner are you backed into? Lie number one. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
In Tuesday's episode of Honesty, a podcast by a former New York writer, Bari Weiss, the woman, Amy Cooper, says she had no other choice but to call 911 when the bird watcher, Christian Cooper, offered her dog a treat after he asked her to keep the pooch on a leash. Okay, lie number two. So you had no other choice. That's lie number two. But to call 911 when the bird watcher offered your dog a treat. Okay.
I mean, that is very threatening behavior, Char. I mean, God damn.
He's holding these dog treats in one hand and a bike helmet in his other hand. And I'm thinking, oh my God, is this guy going to lure my dog over and try to hit him with his bike helmet? That's what she told a podcaster, Kamel, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, Foster.
I wish you could see my face. Okay. I really do. Like, what? Where?
This is what she said. She said, I was thinking, oh my God,
God.
is this guy going to lure my dog over and try to hit him with his bike helmet?
Oh my God. I'm not even doing my first two stories first. I'm doing a story that's going to address why this woman is the way she is. Okay, let's go. Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And then she says, and if I end up over there, am I going to be hit by his bike helmet? Now, this is what she says she thought in her mind. Now, we can't, say that we know what the woman thought, but we can say there's something wrong with her thinking.
Yes.
We can come to that conclusion.
Very wrong.
And it taken her a whole year to come to this conclusion to tell us this now when she never said that in the first place. Just saying.
Wow.
Let me finish. I'm sorry, Tuesday's interview was a departure from her initial remarks after video of the encounter on May 25th, 2020, recorded by Christian Cooper, went viral and drew widespread outrage as an example of police being called on an African American who was not committing any crime. Amy Cooper said then that she overreacted and was sorry.
Okay.
She told NBC New York at the time, "When I think about police, I'm such a blessed person. I've come to realize, especially today, that I think of the police as a protection agency, and unfortunately, this has caused me to realize there that there are so many people in this country that don't have that luxury." Now that's what she was saying May in 2020. So I'm more likely to believe that that's what she thought about after they told her, "What the hell is wrong with you? Why did you do this? Karen, Karen, Karen," and all this kind of stuff. And then she like, "Oh, well, I am Karen and I can call the police and it's a luxury." So she was telling the truth at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. The story continues. On the podcast, however, this recent one, she says, "I don't know that as a woman alone in a park that I had another option but to call police." That's what she just recently said now.
Not calling the police.
A,
That wasn't an option.
a whole year later, this is what she says, a woman in the park by herself. Well, let's say a woman in the park with a dog that got close to the African American man that was in the park when he says, "Even get away from me." What about that part, lady? But no,
Right.
she don't want to talk about that.
No. Mm-mm.
Christian Cooper declined to comment about Amy Cooper's last remarks. He has previously said that he approached to ask her to put the dog on a leash, which is the policy for Ramble area of Central Park. He said he is often in the Ramble and asks for dogs to be leashed to preserve the area's environment and wildlife. He added that he do carry treats with him to get the owners to leash their dogs. Because they don't want to, that's fine. Because they don't want their dogs eating treats from a stranger. That's fine. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with that. You can decline, "Oh, thank you. That's all right." There's nothing wrong with that. And I get he carries that. Because think about it. You got a dog, and there's all kind of dogs, different breeds. You don't know what will happen. Hey, at least I got a darn treat. Maybe I can get him to look at the treat and leave me alone. You never know. But this is all because the woman got fired. She wants some attention. Now she's just full of crap. That's
Oh
all
yeah.
this is.
There you go. That's where I stand. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
she's
that's
just full
all
of
this
crap.
is.
That's it. Like,
That's it at the end of the day. That's all this is.
like, come on. You know what the thing is though? She's telling the truth about one part, and the part she's telling the truth about is this: when they, and y'all know who I mean by they, okay? When they see a particular skin tone pigmentation, right? All they see are violent, predatory criminals. That's what they see. They see that. And so because they see it now, don't get it twisted though. Karen ain't scared of y'all. She's not scared. She's never been scared. She never will be scared. Karen ain't scared of nothing. Okay? Because Karen feels like the police are there to protect her from everything, including being just socially embarrassed. Like, think about the ultimate privilege of that. So she ain't scared of the predatory criminal. She's not. But she does see it, and she knows at the very least that the rest of the world sees things that way too. So she knows that all she has to do is say, "But he was being his violent predatory criminal self." And then there you go, boom, saves her from any type of social disgrace. She's used to that. She's been selling that lie her whole life.
Yeah.
So that's it. Like, ew. Bro, it took her that long to come up with this whack story. Like, there's not even like a good story. That's the worst part about it. This is terrible. I thought he might hit me with his bicycle helmet. Bro,
Right.
have you ever like touched a bicycle helmet? It's like a very thin piece of plastic and then a whole bunch of styrofoam. It's
Mm.
not hard. Like it's not going to hurt you. It's not a motorcycle helmet. It's a bike helmet. It's like 2 pounds of styrofoam. That was your issue for real? You weren't sure if the styrofoam would hurt you? Come on. Come on. Enough. I can't with y'all.
Too much.
Mm-hmm. Now, okay, like I said, I'm gonna skip I have an update for y'all. I got a scan for y'all, but I'm gonna skip that. And I'm gonna do this story first. Okay, there's like 3 videos, very short clips. Don't worry about it, y'all. It's not gonna be forever. But it's all kind of strung together, and I want y'all. This is gonna answer exactly what I just said. Okay, so first we're gonna take a look at this case that just happened. Okay, this is a police involved pullover. It's happened on August 27th, 2021, around 10:45 p.m.
Mm.
Okay, I want y'all like the reaction, and y'all, we know this. I mean, come on, y'all, we
Yeah.
do this so often, so we know that this is how it goes down. They act like they don't know, but we know. So let's take a look at this video first, and then we'll continue.
Whoa, guys, man, calm down. Whoa. Guys, calm down, man. You guys need to calm down. You guys need to calm down. You guys need to calm down. I got you, man. I'm recording. Okay. Open, guys. Open the door. Yeah. Don't do nothing. You guys good. Unlock the door. Unlock the door,
Dang, he
guys.
ain't moving
Please.
his hands,
Get
not one
out.
inch.
I
Smart
got your
man.
back. Get out. Get out, please. Do what he says, guys. Do what he says, please. I got y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. He should not pull your gun on you guys. That's crazy. I know. Trust me. I look. I got the whole thing.
This is literally why I come to a light area.
Trust me. I know. I'm look. I got you. It's all right. I'm glad you did that. I see the whole thing. You're good. I got you, my.
Now, so I'm gonna explain to y'all what happened there. Okay. Okay. So, like you said, it's around 10:45 p.m. So him and his girlfriend were clocked on the edge of Cabarrus County and Harrisburg County for not being able to see his tag. Mind you,
Oh,
this is what he's
Lord.
saying here. This is his thing. Mind you, my tag is a paper tag and it sits in the center back windshield, clear as day. So it's not that he didn't have a tag, it's that they didn't see it. Remember when they did the same thing to the
Yeah.
army guy? Well, I just didn't see your tag. But it's there. Yeah, but I didn't see it. So I decided as a result that you're a criminal. Not that I should just pull you over, talk about the tag, maybe give you a slap on the wrist like they would with other populations. No, you're a criminal.
Right.
Okay?
Burst your window out. Yeah. All of that.
Exactly. Now he said in the specific area we were in, as you can see, was pitch black, dark, and unsafe for us to pull over. So we went to a nearby gas station. We wanted to protect ourselves, so we decided to pull into a well lit area to keep us safe. Now we've heard this story multiple
Yeah.
times. It's
Yes.
actually within the law that you do so. You're allowed to drive until you're in a well lit area, pitch black instead, whatever. You're allowed to do this. But every time a black person does this to try to protect everybody, mostly themselves, this
Yes.
is how they react. So now they've just pulled into the gas station. They're clearly not running. You had no problem following them. A bunch of other cars are screeching in, sirens on, and whatever. And what did they do? They get out of their cars, guns drawn on these young people,
Hmm.
really, because the tag that was actually inside their windshield they didn't see. Probably because it was so damn dark. Just saying.
Right.
Now he's saying as soon as we pulled in, 3 cops approached the car and 3 guns were drawn and ready. 2 on me, one on my girlfriend. Now my windows don't go down. And in the attempt to tell the officer that you can hear them banging and yelling at the car on the driver's side, one of the officers that had a gun on my side had a breaking glass pin in his other hand and busted my driver's side window, unlocked the car, and pulled me out. The officers that had the gun on my girlfriend's side proceeded to take her out of the car as well. Both officers took our phones that were being used to record and call our parents and placed them on top of the car as they detained us both. No Miranda rights were read. My car was illegally searched. My ID was not asked to be seen. And my girlfriend and I were separated, right? And then he said they took him into the SUV to question him. And he literally saw that they kept his girlfriend cuffed until they pulled off. Okay. Now, this is not. I wish I could say, oh man, I hate when this random one-off type of story comes up. But it's not. This is what happens all the time. And so, you know, and what we know, okay, what we know is that this kind of thing leads to tragedy, to violence, to unnecessary nonsense all the time. And unfortunately, prior till now, we're going to talk about it in a second, right? There's been no solution. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this video right here, okay? And then I'm going to tell you the good news. There's a little bit of good news in one of, honestly, the most infamous cities and states in the country. So let's take a listen to this.
Okay.
Because it's going to do a better job of explaining what we already know, but still. Okay.
Officer shooting a suspect either intentionally or unintentionally. But really what we should be talking about, police excessive force cases, we're often talking about the end of the encounter, the knee in the back of the neck. An officer shooting a suspect either intentionally or unintentionally. But really what we should be talking about is the reason for the encounter in the first place. Every one of these fatalities in police excessive force cases begin with a police-citizen encounter. And the amount of evidence required for that initial encounter is very low. So low that that's where, if there's bias, it can creep in. As we've seen, many police-citizen encounters begin in motor vehicles with an initial traffic stop. And as we've seen, a traffic violation can be a million different things. In at least one state, air fresheners hanging from your rear view mirror are enough for police to pull you over. And therein, in that decision, is where the bias can creep in. Let's face it, no police officer wants to be the one that is known for only giving tickets out for air fresheners on rear view mirrors. A police officer wants to be the one that busts the big crime. Once police see that they have an arguable traffic violation, they have a second decision to make. Is it worth pulling this car over? They might err on the side of pulling over an older junker car because maybe that car has something wrong with its registration or its car inspection. From there, it's easy to hopscotch onto a search of the car and then possibly a search of the trunk. And the Supreme Court has essentially said that even if a police officer pulls over 100% black drivers, as long as each of those black drivers had a legitimate traffic violation, then the traffic stops are legal. And that's even though we should be plainly
You heard that, right? The Supreme Court said it is 100% okay for you to only target a particular demographic, as long as you have some very vague proof that you had a reason to pull them over.
And that's what that says. That is what that says. You can, read it whichever way. I get how they've written it, but exactly how you just said, you can target a particular demographic, example, black people, and as long as you just got some probable cause, it doesn't take much.
Right.
Pull them over.
Pull them over. That's it. And then when you know what, it doesn't pan out for you, well, then you got to figure out a way to make something stick, because otherwise, they
can come after us and try to sue us and all this paperwork, and we don't need this in the news.
Exactly.
Oh,
and in a second, I'm going to argue something that he said earlier, but let's keep listening for now.
Concerned about an officer that pulls over 100% of a particular minority. Studies have found that black drivers are far more likely to be stopped by police than white drivers are. Not only that, but once they are stopped, black drivers are twice as likely to be searched as white drivers are. Black Americans are over 3 times more likely than white Americans to be killed by police, according to a study by researchers from Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health. And those searches are less likely to yield illegal drugs or contraband than searches of white drivers. Any traffic violation can quickly mature into an additional search, whether it be of the interior of the car or possibly even the trunk, if the officer develops probable cause during the stop. In that moment, where an officer has to decide whether or not to initiate a police-citizen encounter, that's the moment that bias can creep in, unconsciously or consciously. If an officer thinks that black drivers are more likely to have more illegal things in their car, then that may factor into the decision. Ultimately, a lot of folks may say there ought to be a law against this, but it would require a law that controls what happens in the recesses of people's minds, unconsciously or consciously. And we just don't have that technology yet.
Now, here's the thing, y'all. So he said, well what it would require is a law that can police what's going on in your head. That's not true. Minneapolis is proving that. But before we do that, before we talk about that law, okay, I want y'all to just hear the response, okay, that this woman, I can't remember her name. I think she's awesome. She's from like the TYT plant. But she argues, well, she doesn't argue, but I'm going to say she says something here because he said, come on, the cops they just act like this because they don't want to be known as the ones who just, find the air freshener on the rear view mirror guy. No, that's not why they're doing what they're doing. And so she brings up a lot of great points. So I want to take a listen to her response here. She's responding to those kids who got pulled over. Okay.
Been shown time and time again from these videos that law enforcement cannot control their cool, especially when they're dealing with a black or brown person. And what we have actually going on there is unconscious bias, whether we know it or not, because not all racism is overt. And so we are seeing this play out with these stereotypes of the thought that black people are dangerous. And even in this situation here, let's look at the county stats for Cabarrus County. A report recently released by the North Carolina Criminal Justice Analysis Center. Well, what they found in March of 2021 and looking at about a decade of drivers being pulled over, they found that law enforcement in North Carolina, they searched black drivers and their cars nearly twice as often as the officers did with white drivers. Wow. And they also used force twice as often with black drivers and white drivers. Yet the research also found that white drivers were far more likely to be carrying contraband. So we actually have to just be honest with ourselves and say, hey, we have racism floating within our society, and thus we have unconscious bias, and it's killing black people literally. But at the end of the day, all we know is that this force here, as we just saw in this video, that this is insanely excessive. It's not acceptable, and it does get people killed, and they just happen to be black more often than not.
Yeah. Right. So she pointed it out. First of all, they can't keep their cool. Okay. Right. Disrespecting cops is the biggest crime on the planet. It's the biggest crime. You cannot disrespect the cops. They don't you better bow to me immediately. You better show me this and show me that immediately. Okay. Then on top of that, what do? Black people are dangerous. Black people are criminals. So I can get away with this. I know I can get away with this with a black face. So that's why I'm going to target them, because I can sell it. I can sell it to that Karen that Char just showed. I can sell it to the majority. Well, he's dangerous. He was dangerous. I shot him for no reason within 2 seconds because he was dangerous. Look at him. He's black. Oh, he is black. Okay. That's what's happening. Okay. And so, but, now the gentleman said, well, listen, the only solution is to be able to come up with something that can, mitigate people's minds. And we don't have the technology for that. Not the only solution. Now, Minneapolis, okay, the home of Philando Castile, okay, Dante Wright, George Floyd, right? That's why I said they're infamous. They had to come up with a solution because they can't afford to have another one of these international cases. Okay, so they have actually come up with the solution. The solution's very simple. They've just said, okay, well, no more traffic stops for minor violations. Because, see, here's the thing. If you know that they're going to target a particular demographic, and then when they do target that demographic, or when they come into contact with that demographic, that there's a 3 times higher likelihood that that demographic's going to be murdered, unjustly, despite the fact that the facts bear out that white people who get pulled over have more guns and drugs and other illegal things in their cars by far. But they're not the ones who end up with the criminal charges or dead more often, right?
Right.
So you got this issue. You can't police people's thoughts. You can't just snap your fingers and change society. So you know what you do? You change what the police are responsible for. Okay? So police in Minneapolis will no longer be allowed to pull cars over for low level violations like, I don't know, expired plates and air fresheners hanging from the rear view mirrors, and I can't see your tag. Hmm. Hmm. Police don't like this, by the way. They are not really responding often to people who are reaching out to them for comment, right? Not happy about this, strangely. I can't imagine why. Maybe it's because it's putting them in their place and saying, hey, you guys are a bunch of children. You can't control yourselves and you can't police yourself, even though we're supposed to trust you to police the population. So here, we're slapping you down. We're going to take away a bunch of your rights. We're going to take away a bunch of your responsibilities because you can't handle it. That's what they're doing. And basically what they said was, it's time to end policies that penalize people for being black and being poor, which is true. And so, yeah, no, guys, there's a solution. This is why people are saying stuff like defund the police. No, it's not about literally defunding the police. It's about taking away their right. It's like stop and frisk, right? It was terrible towards the young black male. Take away that policy. Take away that policy of those undercover car cops who could just pull up at any moment. I can't remember what the hell it was called. Like in New York or somewhere. And they just pull up to you. Car's not even marked. And they come out like a militia trying to jump you. And then they kill you because you don't respond well. But would you? I don't know you're a cop. I don't even know why you're here. Right? You have to get rid of policies when they're not working. And honestly, we all know that the traffic stops are just a money grab. You're not worried about people dying or, protecting society. It's just a money grab. So, you know what? End their right to do this. End the right of the higher ups putting quotas on this stuff. You know what I mean? And you just don't want, we don't trust you. We don't trust you. So that's the solution.
Okay. And just teasing you, you better be careful when it comes down to saying, they get a kickback now. You better be careful.
I know.
You better be careful saying that now. I'm just saying.
I know. Hey, listen, y'all come for me. I'm in Canada. Can't get me.
Well, I have something for Emmanuel. If I can, because these links, they all kind of look the same on when you're looking for it. So I'm going to try to. Oh, I got it. Good. Woohoo. All right. Because I was saying we can go ahead and maybe take a Uber and maybe that would help. But I'm like, no, that wouldn't help either. I'm pretty sure. And let me tell you why. Because this is what they're doing when it comes to Texas and the abortions. This is how far they are saying they're willing to go.
Oh, boy.
I think this is just crazy. Lyft Uber weighs in on Texas law in New York. Ride-hailing companies Lyft and Uber said they will cover the legal fees of any driver who is sued under the new law prohibiting most abortions in Texas. Rather than being enforced by government authorities, the law gives citizens the right to file civil suits and collect damages against anyone aiding an abortion, including those who transport women to clinics. So, if I'm an Uber driver, a woman gets in. Hi, good morning. You greet them. Let me say, I have this address here. This address is really close to an abortion clinic. Are you going for an abortion today, ma'am? No.
Right?
Okay, I don't know. You look like you might be. Let me see, you got a jacket on. Can you open your jacket? Let me see if I can see you showing.
Yeah.
I mean, how far are you going to go with that? That's just ridiculous.
Right?
That's just crazy. because I'm concerned about my license being sued. I'm going to try to have to check, but it's not my business to ask my customer where the hell they're going. And if they're getting an abortion, that's gone too far. This
Right.
is crazy.
Like, are the abortion clinics just standalone, like in otherwise miles and miles of country? So, like, do you know what I mean? Like, how would you even determine that the Uber driver is at fault for knowing that you should have known that this particular woman, because she's a woman traveling alone and she's going within a few city blocks of the abortion clinic that I'm sure is on a street or on a block that has many other businesses she could be going to.
Right. And you may not get a park, and you pull up to um, 173 Main Street, and the abortion clinic is 195. Let's say.
Right.
So what? You gonna have someone pulling all the receipts? Oh, wait a minute. This woman. Let's see. How old is she? Yeah, she probably was pregnant. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. She went here. Yeah, she probably went there. Let's pull a record. Then HIPAA should be involved, because how the hell are you gonna get somebody's medical records?
Right.
What
Right.
what kind of mess is this? Who's doing all this mess? Because this is a bunch of mess. This is ridiculous. You go as far as trying to threaten drivers, Lyft and Uber drivers, as
Yep.
well as other citizens. They really
Right.
are trying this. This is crazy.
Like,
I
what
won't
you
sit.
gonna do next? The bus driver. You better not let no women off at that bus stop. It's too close to the abortion clinic. Like, what? Like,
That's right. They could have walked in there. I think that, yeah, they walked in there. You know what? We found out. We broke their rights, and we found out that they had an abortion, and you were the driver on duty that day. You let them off. They had a transfer. You got let them off. So you're responsible.
hmm
What kind of man? So how far are we going to go with this?
right.
Come on now.
But you know what the worst part about this is, Char? Abortion, because they're not allowed to, right? So abortion is not technically illegal. And they couldn't do that. So instead, they came up with like the heartbeat law, right? So within the first 6 weeks or so, which is normally when women don't know they're pregnant, you're allowed to get an abortion. So this crime involves two things. Number one, not only do you have to know that you're dropping the woman off at the abortion clinic, but then you have to know that she is more than 6 weeks along. Like, if she's 7.5, you should know that as a man, right? And it was just that's anybody. You
Or
should
a
know.
woman driving the Lyft or Uber.
Right. Because anyone
What you
can
gonna
tell when
say?
you're under 3 months that you're like even pregnant. Like, you might be like, oh, maybe you're pregnant because you're kind of glowy or your boobs look bigger. That's normally what you're going for in the first 3 months, right? Like, how the hell would you know?
Right.
Like,
That's why I said, how far are you going to go? Hey, ma'am, let me lift your jacket. Let me see you. Oh, you look a little puffy there. Oh, your nipples hard. I don't know.
right,
It
excuse
could
me, I'm
be.
getting to touch your stomach and your breasts to see
Here,
if they're
ma'am.
firm like pregnancy.
Please,
Like,
here's a cup here. Urinate on this stick here before I drop you off,
yeah,
and let me test you.
right?
I mean, how far are we going to go? This is ridiculous.
It's absolutely asinine. And then the fact that they enable anyone from around the world to report you, right? Like, you don't have to be there. You don't have to be from that state. You don't have to be present. You don't have to have seen it. And you can still report people. Like, this is a really predatory law, okay? This is a really predatory law. This is low-key scary. I
It
feel like
is.
it's going to create bad things, like the
It
way like
is.
Sharia law creates bad things against women. It's going to be a very hostile thing for women to be traveling anywhere like within just even to the downtown area. Yeah, you're probably gonna walk in there. No, I need to go to the bay. It's right there. No. Like, this is crazy.
hmm And when I saw this, I'm like, come on now. How far are you going to go? Stop it.
Right. God. I'm like, y'all, listen, this is already an end run around the Constitution. The fact that they keep pushing it is terrifying. It's just terrifying. And they think it's okay. And you got all the Bible thumpers down there. Yeah, that's right. We're saving lives here. We care about people. Okay, well, could you wear a mask so your children stop going to hospital for Rona? No, no, it's my right. It's my
Right.
body, my
Who you think
choice.
you are? Who you
Right?
think you are? It's feminism. Yeah.
Like, it's amazing because then they'll use the my body, my choice thing for masks, but like while they're invalidating abortion. Like, it's amazing. I just,
They're gonna mix some YouTube up in there too.
oh
Winter's
God.
coming.
Right? Winter's coming. That's why. That's why you want to do this, because winter's coming. Oh, is that why, sir? Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, totally mentally healthy. I understand. You're probably not actually crazy. Probably.
Maybe.
It's probably, yeah, maybe. Okay, so guys, now I'll go backwards, and first we'll do an update on a scam. So again, we've talked
Okay.
about lots of different scams that have been happening during these times, right? Because everyone's home, everyone's desperate, and
Yeah.
so that creates innovation. So instead of inventing like a useful business that you could legally register and profit from, instead people are coming up with new scams. So this one, okay, it's an email scam that tricks victims into calling the fraudsters. Okay, so experts from security firm Kaspersky, thank you, have warned of new waves of phishing, voice phishing scams, making the
Yeah.
rounds that target users with extravagant purchase demands. Okay. So the company says that as yet unknown criminals are impersonating well-known hardware and software manufacturers, warning people of their gaming laptops, Apple smartwatches, and software license purchases. Okay. Whatever the product, the value of the purchase is usually rather quite substantial, with the goal being to scare you into calling the number listed in the email. So once the victim takes the bait and rings the number, the attackers will try to extract any valuable or personal information over the phone, or try to have the victim install malware. Okay. It's absolutely crazy. Now, what they do, okay, it doesn't contain any links like when they send you the email. All of the typical things you look for to know for sure it's a scam, they don't send any of that in there. Okay. There's a number at the bottom. So you can
Wow.
call the phone number if you want to deal with it, but if not, they're just warning you to let you know that this order is going through. Like when you order something for Amazon, right?
Yes.
And then you get the order confirmation email to you. Okay, so your order for $2,342 on Amazon for the following things is going through, and thanks for your purchases. That's what it's doing.
Wow.
Right. No crazy links or whatever, right? Just, and then otherwise the normal contact information at the bottom. It looks just like a legit email from all of those legit companies. And so they have enough information to know if you
Mm-hmm.
are like an Apple user or a Samsung user or whatever. So they're using valid enough information. They're not going to send it to you about something Samsung when you're an Apple user or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, and so it's like, okay, well, if you have any problems with your order, you'd like to cancel, please give us a call, right? And then you call in, panicking. No, I don't have $3,000. No, I didn't order nothing. Please put it on pause, whatever, right? They're like, well, I'm sorry, man. Okay, let's start with your account number, right? And you're already in a panic. You're trying to save yourself, right? So you're going to go through the normal confirmation steps that you would go through. They have some of the basic information. Like, I don't know if people know this, but we know, for example, I remember I was hired by a scamming company. It was trying to steal credit card numbers. I didn't know that at the time that I went. Like, I applied like a normal job and whatever. And it was in the newspaper. I went, and then I was like, okay. And so they said they're just training us. And then they gave us all this information. We didn't have computers. They're like, oh, our computers are being repaired. They'll be back in the office next week. So here's what you're going to do. And then they showed us, for example, all MasterCards start with this, and all this start with this, and da 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 da. So therefore, when you're calling people, right, and you're going to get them to confirm the last, four digits of their card or whatever, or last 8 digits of their card, you're going to read the first 8 digits. They're going to be like, oh, they must know my card number. No, they don't, right? They're just, they know when your card was issued. And so they know all the cards issued between here and here have the first 8 digits are like this. So they're
Yeah.
getting smart. And that was like 20 years ago. So they're getting smarter and smarter with this stuff. So, guys, if you get a call like this, or sorry, another call, if you get an email like this
Uh-huh.
and it's saying you ordered stuff you didn't order, okay, it doesn't have all of your information on it. The email would, like your Amazon emails, take a look at them. They have all your information on the Amazon email, right?
Yes.
Like there's nothing in there that's confusing. When you click a link, because there will be a link, it'll go back to your my orders summary or whatever. So if you didn't make an order and you receive an email like this, don't call. It's a scam,
Wow.
right? They're getting good. I'm
Ooh.
telling you.
Well, I'm gonna do two scams stories next.
Uh oh.
Wow.
Oh.
That this is something else.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Next week, I think I don't know if I mentioned this. Well, I know I mentioned it before that I'm the type of person. I'm not one to repeat content just because I have nothing to say or do or whatever, and I can't sleep and I'm lonely and all them type of things. I don't go live just to be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Super chats and all that. Hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing. So I have to have something to talk about, something to point out, and it could be a huge article, and I just want to point one thing out. That's just how I am. I just want to talk about that one thing. If it goes into something else, fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
So next week, I'm going to share a stream, and in that stream is two people talking content. Well, let me see. Are they? One is a former content creator, and they're having a conversation. It goes left, but in that conversation, there are some things I like to discuss. So that's what we're going to be doing next Friday. So hope
Ooh.
it keeps your attention, um, and we'll see. That's all I can say on that. But back to the scam. Scam. Okay, where's my screen? There it is. Student loan forgiveness. Education Department discharges $1.1 billion in debt for 115,000 ITT students. When I saw this title, I'm like, what are you talking about? What's going on? You forgave them? Well, you didn't forgive my loan from the school that defrauded me, and I wasn't even there, attending there.
Right.
I gave all the information I was supposed to give. I did everything by the book. I withdrew. I had the stamp of approval, and I even went to another school. But did the government forgive my loan? They said, oh no, you're going to pay this back. I had talked with the assistant attorney general. I did everything. I went to an attorney. I did everything as a young person to say, this is not fair. This is not right. I was defrauded. Help me. And at the end of the day, the government said, look here, taxpayer, you're going to pay because I can't get it from the big company that is out of business because they're protected by bankruptcy laws. So I have to go after you. So,
Mm.
too bad, you 19-year-old. Ha ha! You're going to pay.
Damn.
Yeah, that's pretty
Damn.
much what they told me.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, well, I just happen to be that person that will, bite my nose, spite my face. Unfortunately, I'm just that person. So I said, well, I'll never write you a check. So take all the tax returns you want. I don't care. And that's what happened. I have
Mm.
never received a tax return at the age of 19, 20, 21, 22,
Wow.
23, till I was 23 years old. That was
Wow.
my first tax return. I was working, but that was my first tax return.
Oh,
23 years old.
that works
Because
though.
I refused to write a check to them when I did not attend the school. That was like admitting guilt. I couldn't do it. I
Mm-hmm.
could not do it. You have bad credit. Well, I just have bad credit then.
That's still smart. I mean, you think about it, right? When you're actively trying to pay it, it still takes you like that long, maybe even longer. So you might as well just let them take it for your tax return. I mean, like you said, you have bad credit, but like bad credit doesn't last forever. Like when once your taxes pay it off, in a few years you'll be all right. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But when it comes down to student loan debt, that is something that is not forgiven. It doesn't go away. So when I saw this headline, forgiveness, as in poof, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know the dominant society are the students here? Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that many people of color faces.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have. There was a campus that's not far from my home, and I just used to see all the. Let me see. Is it proper to say Indians? I'm not certain. I don't want to offend, but I want to get the right ethnicity.
Well, are they from India?
Possibly. Some of them
Uh,
have dots on their head. Some do not.
that's Pakistan. What's the? I don't know what the. I don't know if there's a politically. I guess they must have like here we say brown, right? But
Hmm.
then I feel like in America when y'all say brown, you mean like Spanish people.
Right.
But
That's
here,
yeah. That'll be different.
right?
So
But
I'm a
here, brown people are like Indian people, people from Pakistan, stuff like that. Like they're darker skinned people, but from like that part of the world, the
yes.
Middle Eastern. Isn't it
Okay.
Middle? Is it Middle? No. Oh, did I say that wrong? Yo, I'm not good at geography. Y'all are those people from the Middle East? I feel like I want to say Middle East.
I just know they're either they grow up. Well, not to say grow up,
They're
but they normally
Asian. That's where they're from. They're Asian.
Asian.
They're something Asian, like East
Okay.
Asians or something like that.
Okay. I
East
know they.
Indian. East Indian. Okay, there you
That's
go.
what it is.
I know
Okay.
that's what Don Teasy said. So if
Well, we're gonna go for that. If anyone wants to make a correction, that's fine. No slight to your ethnicity. I just wanted to get it correct. But there were a lot of students in my neighborhood,
mhm.
and they would pile up in apartments, and they used to get a grant from the government. That's why I used to really pay attention to what Cerulean would say, because he knew about those things. I didn't know, and it started making sense about a lot of things. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's how. Now, I will say there are some that may have been born here. They don't get the particular grants or whatever. Their parents have to pay. But regardless, those that did not, they were fresh from, wherever they came from.
Mhm.
They actually were getting grants and stuff, and they were all going to ITT. And I used to just see them
Mm.
just constantly all day. They would be grouped up. I would see them. And if they didn't have a key to get in the building, I already knew, because I'm like, it's so many of them in an apartment, but they only give you two keys. And you got six students in there. And all they had was mattresses. They slept on the floor. Some of them have the windows open. And you can see straight through their apartment. There's nothing in there, mattresses, and they're sitting there reading. So I say that to say it benefit everyone, and it was a lot of the East Indians or whatever they are.
Mhm.
It benefited them. So
Mhm.
they were able to get out of this. Everyone else had to pay, like
Mhm.
myself. So I'm like,
Mhm.
well, 30 years later, oh, now, oh, sorry. Or was it 40? Yeah, 40 years. Yeah, about 30 years later. Oh, we can forgive you. But so you know what I'm going to do, since I've seen this, I am going to write this reporter. I'm going to
Mhm.
start there. Start with her and ask her, um, do you have an idea who I can get in touch with? Because I was defrauded in the 80s. Yes, it's been a long time, but I can, I don't have a pension, and I can, about $2,700, $2,800 would be good in a bank account. So who do I start with? Yeah.
See, and I totally get. I'll say, and I agree with you, obviously, on that. My issue is this, because if they're forgiving billions of dollars of debt over predatory lending practices, um, what about the people who were affected by predatory lending practices before this? Like why isn't there? I just don't understand how like they could come up with anti-hate crime laws for Asians, but like who cares about all the hate crime laws that should be directly instilled to protect Black people first? Because how long have they been experiencing, and to what depths have they been experiencing hate crimes in America? Right?
Forever.
Right. Same thing with predatory lending that bankrupted 80% of the community in the 80s. So where's all of that for debt forgiveness? Right? Where's all the debt forgiveness for the students who then as a result had to take more predatory lending in the next 20, 30 years because it's the only way they're going to manage to get to school because you bankrupted their family with your predatory lending. I just don't understand how, again, I'm all for forgiving debts over predatory lending practices and whatnot. I just think, first things should be first, and Black people, it's not even like we're last. We're just not an option. Like we're
not even on the damn list, girl.
Right.
Not even on the list. So I wanted to give you that story time. Let me see. I'll give you the article. You can read it. But when I just saw that, I was pissed. And then I said, well, is there hope for me? So I don't know, but I'm going to try.
Yeah.
The worst can happen is they'll say, lady, it's been 30 years. You ain't over it yet. And I'm going to say, no, I am not. So now what?
No.
That's what I'm going to say. I am not. So are you going to help me or what?
I lost $20 once. I'm not even kidding. I was like 8 years old. And I lost that $20 bill. And I'm pretty sure that this one student in my class stole it. And I'm still not over it. It's $20. Like 30 years ago. No, because it's money. Y'all are acting like money is free. Nothing in life is free. So yes, I care. I want my money back. Like, come on. You're not over it? Would you be? Thousands of dollars? Really? You'd just be over it? Just wouldn't matter to you? No? Okay.
Shoot. I care. Right. I care a whole lot, so I'm going for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now let me show you a little bit more in the fraud section. Let's make this bigger. All right. Here we go.
Oh, no, we can't see nothing.
Oh, you can't see it.
Mm-mm.
All right, make it bigger, share it, change that.
Like I hear something very quietly, so I'm not sure if that's that, but I don't see. Oh, okay, now I see it. Okay, we're good.
Boop. Made it bigger.
All right.
Investigates for help after she says that she was cheated out of some of her winnings. Our Kathy Curran with details right now.
That woman says she walked into this store in Roslindale and bought a bunch of scratch tickets. She says she went to her car and scratched them and thought she had won. But when she went to cash in, she says she was ripped off by the clerk.
Woo!
Amelia Smith scratched and scratched her way to what she thought was a winner. When she glanced down at her $5 gem mine game,
I had 3 symbols indicating that I won.
She knew she struck gold.
It made me excited, like woo, woo, woo.
But Amelia's excitement turned to disgust when she walked into the Roslindale Food Mart where she bought the ticket to cash in her winnings. She thought she won at least $500. She says the clerk in this lucky store took her ticket, scanned it, and the machine sang a winning tune.
It said, "Ee!" A beep made a sound on the machine, and then a pink sales slip came out, and he just grabbed it.
Amelia says the clerk wouldn't give her that validation slip showing her winnings or return her scratch ticket. After some back and forth, he handed her $500 cash from the register.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But even with that money in hand, she had a gut feeling that something was wrong.
When I called the lottery people and the police,
it would appear that what he did was he took the validation slip, kind of crumpled it up quickly, threw it away or otherwise disposed of it, kept it away from the customer, and attempted to pay her approximately $500 in cash.
Executive Director Mike Sweeney says the ticket was worth double that payout. Investigators determined the clerk was trying to pocket the winnings and cash in Amelia's ticket for himself. After she made multiple trips to the store, the clerk gave her the rest of her money, but since she still didn't have her ticket, she had no idea what she actually won.
We do occasionally run into a situation where there seems to have been some level of malicious intent, if not outright criminality potentially involved.
Records obtained by 5 Investigates show in a similar case in Melrose back in 2014, deli owner Chang Cho robbed.
What actor does he look like? Somebody tell me. I know Don Teason may know. He has to Google, but somebody knows.
Robbed a disabled woman of her winnings from a scratch ticket by giving her less than $1,000 when she actually won $10,000.
When she went back, complained, and he gave her $500, that was the ticket right there. That was the key. Why was he so willing to give me the $500?
Right.
Well, shoot, if you got 9,000. 500. Well, I guess you can share. That's almost like our the woman with the that's taking care of the children. What was I can't even think of her name. She got 7 kids. I'm pregnant. It ain't about the money. It ain't fair. It ain't right. And I got 2 jobs.
Shadia Hilo. Shadia Hilo. That's her name.
Let's listen to a little bit more.
Cho pleaded guilty, was sentenced to 3 years probation, and closed his shop. Last year, more lucrative lottery licenses on the line. Plaza Liquors in Southbridge had its license revoked because of a pending criminal charge related to the business, and the store was sold. The lottery suspended the license of Broadway Mini Mart in Lawrence after police busted the store for allegedly selling synthetic marijuana and running an illegal gaming machine.
Most of these are very hardworking individual owners, but it does happen. And when it happens, we take it seriously because the integrity of the product and customer satisfaction is of the highest concern for us.
It's a big business generating almost $1 billion in revenue for local cities and towns each year. A recent state audit found the lottery failed to do timely criminal background checks, which are required every 4 years on more than 3,100 or 32% of its sales agents. Some hadn't been checked for decades. The lottery says it's worked vigorously to fix the problem.
I disagree with that one. You ain't working that hard. Now, see those police officers that can't stop and frisk anyone? Here's some work for you. Let's do some background checks.
Right.
It's a lot of work for you. They decades behind. You can do that.
Right.
How about that? Just saying, I find it's a task for people to do. I can't help myself.
Try to keep you busy.
Yeah, that's all.
Back in Roslindale,
Kathy Curran from 5 Investigates.
The store owner had no comment, but we've learned the clerk who tried to steal the winnings lost his job. Amelia Smith says in a game where you're counting on a lot of luck to turn $5 into $1 million, trusting a lottery clerk shouldn't be a gamble.
The theft. It's wrong. I really said oh my goodness, it's so wrong. Who can you trust?
And the lottery paid Amelia her winnings. The investigation into the store's license is ongoing. There are 2 things you can do to protect yourself in a situation like this. Take a photo of the front and the back of your ticket. You can also download the lottery's app and check your winnings there. Kathy Curran, 5 Investigate.
Now, folks they come to your neighborhood. They working all them hours. See, they don't work just 9 to 5. They don't do 8 hours. They have to do 10, 12-hour shifts, sometimes even longer if the kid's in school, the wife can't take over. Hey, it ain't no joke. And they feel some kind of way. You come up in there shucking and jiving and buying lottery tickets, and eventually they feel some kind of way about you.
Yeah.
Yes, he said, she come in here with all these, get her, I'm going to get her. And then he went on, he said, shoot, he need that money. But they actually get a commission from the winning lotteries. So just that alone is not enough. He was still that greedy that he was just willing to just try to fraud her.
Mhm.
Ain't that something?
Right? I mean, you know what? I've always thought that though. Like, I can't even be like, oh, I think this is abnormal or wrong, because I'm telling you, I'm the one who would never, ever, ever bring my ticket in to just any old store and without a whole bunch of protection and witnesses and stuff, because I think that that's exactly what would happen. Because like you're getting paid
Yeah.
peanuts, right? And then they see you just walk in with this ticket with their little doe eyes. They don't know any better. You could tell them anything, right?
That's why I never understood why you gonna give someone a bare minimum wage to work at a counter with hundreds and thousands of dollars in cash. I don't
Right.
get it. I don't understand that. Why would you do that? You should trust if you trust that person, you should at least give them a living wage, something they can go home. Because other than that, they're gonna end up nickeling and diming you eventually. They
Mhm.
can't eat. They're not doing well all the time.
Right. I mean, okay, it's wrong. I'm not saying it's not wrong. Okay. I'm just saying I understand,
Right. I do
especially
too.
in this day and age, how you could be brought to be like, yo, she won't know no better. Right? Like, if he had just been smart, yo, he should have just given her $500 off the bat. You won 500. Oh my god, you're so lucky. Made a big deal about it. You know what I mean? Give her the $500. She would have went home happy, and he would have had his 5 grand. Like, not that I'm trying to teach nobody how to hustle nobody. I'm just saying I might have done it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. No, no, I
So,
wouldn't have.
so if you were in need, you would have done it. But you
Right.
know, like I said, I know that they work long hours and all that, but that is part of doing business. You know, this is the American dream. Well, welcome to America. This is how it's done. You have to work hard and long, and you get lots of tax breaks and all that stuff. So, hey, be
Hmm.
happy.
Right? This is America. Look at you flip it up. Okay, sorry. It's true though. It's so true.
Okay.
Now, since we're talking about employees at stores, okay, we're gonna give a flip side story. Listen, some of these, minimum wage workers, they're superstars, and they deserve better than they get from their companies. I mean, maybe Buddy did too. Like, I'm not saying he didn't deserve better. I'm just saying, after you steal from people, it makes it hard to feel sorry for you. Um, so I want to talk about the Subway employee. Okay. And I want to talk about the way Subway is handling their employees after the employees really honestly act like rock stars. Now, I'm going to warn y'all, you might want to turn your volume down a little bit because there is some screaming and it is kind of loud. That is your fair warning. Okay.
Okay.
And then at first you're going to look up here.
Okay. Right hand corner,
Hmm.
top. Okay.
A man came into my job and tried to rob me.
Right here. That's the employee.
Oh. Mm-mm.
Hmm. She ain't playing.
I see.
Just y'all wait. She really ain't playing with him.
Uh oh.
What I say?
Dang.
Hmm.
Dang.
Yo.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yo, she got a gun now. She got a gun now.
Dang.
Pistol whipping him.
That's what she do at home, y'all. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yo, she ain't playing. Listen.
She said, "What?"
Yo, right? Yo, you pulled that gun on her and she went, "Excuse you?" Oh no. Now everything's getting shut down. down. And then you had the nerve to drop the gun? So now she has the gun? You don't need to shoot nobody. She's going to beat you with your own gun. She's a rock star, okay? She is a rock star. I think, oh, that was precious. Now.
Wow. Now, I just mentioned last week they put up the glasses now. They're the safety glass, so they behind the thing now. Cages.
Well, this happened. This just happened. Like they must have just missed it because this happened on September 5th. Okay, and her name is probably gonna butcher this name, Araceli Sotelo. Okay, and she was working at a Subway when that man came in and tried to rob her, and she was alone in the restaurant. And their surveillance, I mean, man, Subway is rich as hell because this is their surveillance video. Okay,
crystal clear
and sound. Yeah, man, that one was better than cell phone video. I didn't even know that they could make it that good. Now the man did manage to get her purse, y'all. Okay, so that's sad but true. Now here's the thing: after the video of this began circulating online, Subway suspended Sotelo. Yeah, the girl who was fighting off the attacker.
Oh, she'll be fine. Go ahead with your story. I'm sorry.
Right? Oh, well, of course she'll be fine eventually. But think about that. So a man comes in to rob your store. You fight him off. Okay, you get him out of there. The only thing he ends up taking is something of value of yours. He doesn't take money from this company. He doesn't take nothing. He doesn't hurt nothing. And their response is to graciously suspend you when people find out that it happened. Now, what is the justification? I'm sure you guys are wondering. Now, she thinks that she has been suspended because the location didn't want corporate to know. I'm not sure why, but they told her that she is suspended from her job until all traces of the video are removed from the internet.
Oh, get out of here.
Right? She's like, I have no ability to do that. They wanted to be private that it happened to me and that I fought back, but I think they did that because they do not want corporate to know. So so we know, just like many guilty people, right? The owner of that Subway isn't responding to the newspapers' calls, but they're also not responding to Sotelo's calls, like the employee who's currently suspended. So you told her she could come back to work. She erases all traces. She's trying to contact you. You're still her employer. It's not like she was fired. And there is a GoFundMe started, by the way.
GoFundMe, get her an attorney. Oh, she's gonna do well.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on, you're watching that video and you're like, yo, that man pulled a gun on her. Pulled a gun on her, and that's when she got violent. Okay, that's when she stopped just asking him to go and she decided he was gonna go. And then this whack ass company, okay, the hirer of Jared, and y'all know what Jared did now, and they're going to fire. Well, they basically fired her because how are you going to erase every last trace of something off of the internet?
Right, you don't have any ability for that, but young lady, you make sure you have your copy, so you're an attorney, file for unemployment, that you were not given a schedule over, I think it's 2 weeks. That used to be the law. You didn't get a report for 2 weeks, you can go and file unemployment. You get that. You make sure you get that attorney now, girl. And oh boy, I can't wait. Ooh, I would love to hear the ending of this.
Oh, she's gonna do good. They're blaming her for the video leaking, but she's just an employee. She doesn't have access to the surveillance camera like that. So maybe the security company, someone else leaked it. They're blaming her for leaking it to begin with, even though
she doesn't have access to that, and that is not her job to do that. And I don't care if she was the one that leaked it.
True.
Where's my job? So you're gonna fire me? Oh, you fired me and you weren't supposed to. Oh, I need some damages. Oh, I'm still getting nightmares. Oh. What is the? Oh, I can't sleep. I can't sleep.
Yeah.
I can't eat. Oh, the pain.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. Girl, you put that on. Listen, we all know you too tough for that, but we don't care.
That's
we are
right.
going to cape for your capping. Okay, so you just make sure you make it good and sad. I'm down for you, girl. I'm down for you.
Okay. You can come on the Friday show. We can talk about it. I got you, girl.
Yeah.
I got you. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. I got you.
All the way, the trauma.
See,
The trauma.
we're used to being, given the short end of the stick, so we know how to get out of it. So give
Right.
us a call.
Exactly.
Wow.
Right? Could not even believe that. I'm like, y'all are serious. This woman fought off unarmed with a gun attacker. And y'all like, what were you thinking? Subway corporate. Y'all need to do something because that location is gonna ruin your whole entire career. Y'all barely bounced back after Jared. Y'all need to do something about this immediately. Even if she doesn't take the job back, y'all need to be on your knees, mea culpaing all over. Okay, because this is not the right time for that. Okay.
Man, that's a great lead into our Ken and Karen. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I can't wait now. I cannot wait. Shoot.
Oh, got some good ones. Got some good ones.
All right, Karen. What you say, Karen? What you say?
Feet away, coronavirus. You are Karen.
It just doesn't kill us funny. It really doesn't. Oh, Karen. Oh, you poor thing. Just, because she's so old. You know what it is? It's because she's so old and she is so brave to think she could just conquer the world still with her big bad self. Right? Like, what were you thinking? God, Karen. Like,
she wasn't. She wasn't.
She definitely was not. But I feel like we just saw Karen. Let me see. I mean, she wasn't Karen. I guess, well, it wasn't a Ken. You know what? Listen, we're gonna start with the Ken anyway.
Okay.
Because we got Ken, we got Karen, we got couples. Okay. And this one, shout out to Canadian Kens and Karens. Okay, because listen, we have wackos over here too. And of course, as is usual, most of the wackos these days are anti-vax or anti-mask. Today's Ken is no different. Okay? So let's see how our beloved Vancouver, BC Ken reacts to being told no mask, no service. Okay. Let's turn that volume up as loud as it can go. But trust me, guys, if you're only listening, okay, this one in particular, I'm going to tell you, it's only 47 seconds. I want you to come and watch the screen. It's only 47 seconds, and yes, you'll want to watch. All right.
Okay.
Ma'am, you do not have a braid. You do not have a braid. What rules? Why? It's not a BC policy. BC policy says you have to observe exemptions. Well, I'm gonna put.
Oh! Whoa!
Yep. And for those of y'all who might be confused, at this point, he pulls his junk out of his trunks and proceeds to start peeing on the counter. Okay. That's really what's happening, for real. That's why they're all free. What the hell? Like piss on you, but literally. Okay.
Wow.
And then
shake it off. Ain't that something?
Right? And then he called them psychopaths. That's my favorite part of the video. Like, he tells them they have no brains. He tells them they don't know BC policy. He then pulls out his junk and pees on their counter. And then he tells them they're psychopaths.
Well,
you peed on their counter, bro.
Right. You urinated, and that's definitely you're gonna get fined for that. Definitely, they'll give you some. They can even give you some time for that. They don't play.
They can put you on the sex offenders registry. Like, you can't pull your people have been put on the sex offenders registry, not for intentionally exposing themselves, but like for pulling their pee out in a public place to pee, and normally it's when they're drunk, and then some mother sees it and says her kid see it or whatever, and then all of a sudden you're on the sex offenders registry because you pulled it out in public, even though you were literally you thought you were just, you went to go pee up on like a bush and you didn't realize that on the other side of the bush everyone could see through it or something, because you're drunk.
Yeah. Okay.
People have been put on the registry for that. So for you to pull it out in public at a family restaurant, like that's like a restaurant that has kids in it.
Yeah.
You can be put on the registry. They're currently looking for him. They haven't found him yet, but there's a warrant out for John Doe's arrest. So, yep. Enjoy your time in the pen, or whatever they call it in BC. I don't really know, but like over there. Enjoy your time over there. That's what I got. Right? What do you say? You thought that was okay? Okay, cool. So now we got again. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. What I've noticed is there's an increasing trend. I think what's happening is Ken is just out of work a little bit more. And so we're finding out that the reason why Karen is the way she is actually because of the way Ken is. Because Ken really, really doesn't like to be told what to do. Really, really doesn't like it at all. Definitely does not like to be penalized for not doing what they tell him to do. So we got Ken and Karen. They're a lovely couple on a plane. Okay. And Ken apparently is repeatedly spoken to about not wearing his mask properly. Okay. So let's see how that turns out.
I'm so bored. I don't care about
Oh, these are all normal people for record, y'all.
Oh yeah, I could tell.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
How dare you shovel?
How dare you? Hold on. I just have to point out that Ken attacks him.
Right.
And then goes, how dare you? Wait, what? How dare he what? Fight back? Like,
protect himself.
Right? Like, how dare you? You should allow me to backhand you, sir. Don't you see me? I'm a white man. Okay, sorry. Okay, let's keep going. How dare you?
Fucking that little dragon on my nose made me wait 4 fucking hours for this flight. Do you understand that? You made me wait 4 goddamn hours. You gave me one cocksucking warning. One warning. That's it. You gave me one fucking warning. I pulled it up the second he said something.
I highly
doubt that. The second he said something, I pulled it over my nose. Fucking bullshit.
There's nothing there now.
Shit. Give me my shit. Give it to me. I'll fucking move. Please don't get it. Don't fucking get it.
Hold on. I love the black man. He's like, we're gonna get your shit. Right? Like, he didn't try to say it in like nice words. Like, he's just, where's my shit? Give me my shit. We're gonna get your shit, sir. Calm down. Like, he said shit. I just thought it was so funny. We gonna get your shit. Don't worry. We got you. Okay.
Mommy, why? My 5-year-old not this unbelievable bullshit. Okay, pull out your bullshit.
That's
my nose for 2 seconds. And you give me one fucking warning.
Okay, record. Was this making you better?
Like shit.
Okay. son.
That is
Talked
fucking
to
bullshit.
him, you play out.
Your nose is showing when you fucking approach me. You know that? Your nose is showing when you approach me. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Offered to comply. We offered to put it on.
Give me my shit. I got these stitches.
And now
I got my backpack on board.
they're kicking us off, and I don't know why. We're American.
Just get off.
Everything. That's it. It fell off his face. We apologized and fixed it. It wasn't good enough for them. They won't tell me what it took me off. But that's all that happened. I'm sorry. We don't know what happened. And listening on Frank with JetBlue won't tell me why. So, it's okay, everyone.
Goodbye.
Let it go viral.
First of all, okay, this chick thinks she's famous. Okay, she's standing there holding a whole press conference.
Right.
On the plane, like, yo, she got tired.
Right. What had happened was, and then he was told, and so. I don't know what's going on.
No, how many times did you see Karen break into white tears? Right, with no actual teardrops, but she broke into it though. Which is, I don't know, but I'm just an aggrieved white woman. Feel sorry for me. Now I'll tell you something, y'all. We've watched a video. I think it was last week or the week before. We've seen where people on the flight will stand up for passengers when they think their passenger is being treated unfairly. So if this family really just got one warning, if the story was anywhere near what she said, you wouldn't have these people going, bye, bitch, get off the plane, bye. Right? That wouldn't be happening. So they've clearly been a nuisance. And if you weren't 100% sure that they were a nuisance after she was holding press, just listen to the way this guy is going on in the background. He hasn't stopped yet with the cussings and the cocksuckers. And, like, come on. Oh, my God. They're a disaster. Just a disaster. Love it.
Right. Everyone I know is an attorney. I'm McCarthy. Have you heard of that?
Of course, everyone you know is an attorney. Popcorn, anyone?
Next thing it's gonna happen. Yeah,
You got snacks.
One morning, and I pulled it over my nose. I'm not the type of guy. I'm a vaccinated person. I respect all your rules. Every single one of them. I respect your rules. Okay? You gave me one fucking warning because my neck fell and pulled it down.
Goodbye.
She came off unmasked because you guys are causing a fuking scene.
Oh, okay.
Turn around.
Goodbye.
Turn around. Face everybody, Frank. Face everybody, Frank. Go ahead. Fucking turn around. See why you're holding me.
He don't like it.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it. How dare all of you all?
And they break into applause. You know you were a problem when the plane breaks into applause when you get kicked off. Let's be real.
They're like, we're ready to go.
Right?
Get off.
I'm ready to stop hearing you. Your ass is done. We're good. You're over. It's fine. Like, come on. Like, they really think everyone is stupid but them. For real?
See, if we work together, it may appear that we're right. So let's keep the act going.
Right? Enough. Okay, listen. Y'all, this is not necessarily an attacky kind of Karen, okay? But we've done a lot of school board type issues lately, and I mean, I think this one is it's a good mix of hip hop culture and Karen. Now, Karen likes to get up in everyone's business about everything, and in this case, she is complaining about a particular song that is in the teaching curriculum, right?
Okay.
So we're just gonna listen to her repeat the lyrics because she thought this was perfectly acceptable to do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the song "After Police," in case I was wondering. Okay, Just for the people who won't recognize it offhand, but the rest of us will. And Karen's reading it. Let's go.
I don't know if they fags or what. Search a nigga down and grab his nuts. And on the other hand, without a gun, they can't get none, but don't let it be a black and white one, because they'll slam you down to the street top, black police showing out for the white cop. Ice Cube will swarm on any motherfucker in a blue uniform. Just because I'm from the CPT, punk police are afraid of me, a young nigga on a warpath. And when I'm finished, it's going to be a bloodbath of cops dying in LA. Yo, Dre, I'm something to say. Fuck the police, fuck. Fuck the police, fuck. You get the gist. This is in your curriculum. How do you defend that? Are you proud? Your curriculum. This is what you're teaching our kids.
Fuck the police.
Oh.
Fuck.
Okay. Oh.
And she felt the need to say, she could have just said N-word.
Right.
It wouldn't have been impossible. Like, I really honestly feel like she just wanted the opportunity to finally say the N-word in public and say, well, no, but I had to read the lyrics. You guys, I wouldn't have sang to the song, but I had to read the lyrics to make my point about the fact that it shouldn't be taught in the curricula. Obviously. Yes, finally get to rap in public. My dream. Like, I love Karen. She's good people. So next. You know what's sad, y'all? Is I actually don't ever run out of stories. Like, there's never a point where I can't pull a good solid 10 Karens out of my arsenal. I just pick the top ones every week.
Okay.
Up next, we have Christian Karen. Because they're always a delight.
Oh, man.
Always a delight. Right? And last week, we had the Christian Ken, right? Talking about women's bodies in public. So let's see Christian Karen.
You're gonna knock it down. Your whole shirt and your bra is showing. It's just a sports bra.
That's kind of cool.
Everybody around here
Right?
can see that you're half naked right there.
Watch yourself, please. I'm
Half naked?
No.
Can you don't? What are you doing? Can you don't? Stop.
This is a place where kids
Babe,
play.
can you?
This is a place for family. For family.
But can you just
can't
be
be
elsewhere?
half naked up there. Are you okay with this?
Half naked?
We're doing it. That's my son. It's okay.
need to make a scene about this, okay? Just calm
It's not. Can you watch out?
Family part.
Kids here, man.
Everybody is always with the TikTok. I mean, that is so obscene.
Oh my
I
gosh,
can't believe you're doing this in our neighborhood park.
Doing what?
Almost no clothing. Almost no clothing. That is totally revealing.
I'm gonna
Why
add
do you need to
music.
exercise
Stop.
that?
No
Lady,
clothing.
Stop talking.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
I wanted
totally
to keep
naked.
filming because I'm gonna have music over it.
She
Can you
comes
just
here all the
move, please?
time.
We're doing
What you're involving your kids in?
Yes.
What kind of mother are you? Are you okay with this?
Yes.
Lady,
Totally fine.
you're a mother. You're
Unbelievable.
Leave my hula hoop, please.
This is excessive.
Keep
Yeah.
reaching over there.
Trying to
Right?
their kids around here. Little kids can see you. I mean, that is not what we do in this kind of a park. It's a family park. It's a family park. But like, I have a baby here.
Ma'am, please,
You're gonna wake up my baby.
please just go.
What? What?
Unbelievable.
Yes, help her.
Hey, look at
You
you.
need to get down.
What is it doing?
Yo, she was gonna hit her.
Are you serious?
Seriously, I can't.
What are you? Don't.
She can't
I
take it.
leave and I
Don't-
let you do this in our park.
You don't.
Hey, yo.
She
Hey,
can't
guys,
take
guys,
it.
just take it easy. Take it easy.
She
Relax.
could not.
This has nothing to do with you. What
Hey, you're freaking out, lady. Take
Why
it
are you
easy.
filming? What are you doing?
Hey, get back. Take a breath.
The baby's gonna start crying.
Get away from my baby.
Give Karen what she wants.
Right?
Oh, don't.
Oh, you got great hair and you in great shape. Oh, she can't take that.
Mm-mm.
What are you doing? Why are you?
And upside down.
What does this have to do with you?
Why are you so
What is your problem? I was just working out.
Lady, I see them here every week. Take
So
it easy.
what? Just
Right.
Why did you do that?
Practically naked. I'm wearing
She's wearing shorts and a
Good.
shirt.
Revealing clothing for working out, right?
You're wearing revealing clothing
Not really, no.
What TikTok? You're filming a TikTok? How about this? Let me show you what you can do for a TikTok.
Uh-oh.
Lady.
What you gonna do for a TikTok? What you gonna do?
Serious?
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, so like find someplace else to
Would you
bare your
please
belly.
just sock Karen, please?
Right?
Yeah.
I can't take this.
Stop filming.
So I'll
Oh,
send
you
this,
gonna
guys.
do that to
Don't-
my
don't worry.
property?
See you,
Roll
psycho.
off, roll off with the kid. Roll off with the kid.
Wow, like y'all tell me how this woman could sit there and create a whole travesty, right? She's the one who's creating yelling. No one else is. They're mostly trying to ignore her. And then she goes, "You're gonna wake my kid."
Roll off with the kid. That's all that guy was trying to help her. He should have just rolled off with the kid. That would have took the attention off the woman, and just roll up the street. She'll chase after you. Don't even worry about it. Drop the child off right there, and then run back to your family and go ahead and hula hoop.
Bro,
That's
like
all.
even upside down, that woman was more covered up than like the average person these days in the summer walking around. I'm just gonna be real,
It
right?
was like a tube top. That's all that was. It wasn't nothing. That's what it looked like, a tube top upside down.
And even like, you couldn't see no cleavage. Her shoulders were covered. The only thing you could see was like about a foot of stomach.
That was it. And she couldn't take that. That's what bothered her. She
Yep.
was like, oh, hell no. That flat stomach. Oh, hell. Upside down, too?
Mhm.
Oh, no. Nope. That's why that hula hoop, it bothered her.
Yep. What y'all want to bet her husband's there? Her husband's there. He's somewhere. He's on the other side of the park, whatever. Okay. And her husband had the nerve to look and say, "Oh, that's cool." Probably because this woman's hanging upside down doing the hula hoop, and that's cool, right?
Yeah.
And her insecure fupa having ass, right? Then decided to make it a whole issue because of her insecurities, because she's too lazy to work out, right? But at the same time, apparently what body positivity is these days, y'all, and it's honestly going to be one of the very first videos I do because it really annoys me, but you can't be body positive unless you are obese or larger, right? Like you can't just be like, I'm comfortable and I'm happy with my body. Remember how body positivity used to be about, you know, if you lost a limb or just being a woman and you just have normal bumps, but you didn't think you're supposed to, and just accepting and embracing yourself no matter what you look like.
Right.
You're not allowed to do that unless you're obese or larger than that. You're not. I swear to God, they will come for you on TikTok and Instagram. They'll come for you. You are not allowed to just embrace your body and embrace your looks and then have the nerve to put the hashtag body positivity. You're not allowed to. How dare you? That's only for obese and morbidly obese people, ma'am. Like, it is why. It's to make women like her feel better about themselves. That's it.
Well, I would have gave Karen some exercise because I would have had a plan. I would have told my husband, "Hey, push the child, run up the block with him. I'll be waiting." Then she come back. If she was snatched my hula hoop, I would have just waved my arms and kept moving my waist, and she still be mad. You up there? You did. Your child up the block. Do you want him or you don't?
Right? You might want to go get your kid before someone snatches them. You know, I just saw the point. I don't know if y'all saw it. She did the same thing that Karen and Victoria's Secret and other Karens who are going to hit you do, because they're not good at hand-eye coordination. So they take a really long time to set up hitting somebody. And so she did that thing with her hand. She flattened up her hand. You know, she put the arm back. She was going to hit her in the face. But then she got a hold of the loop, thought about the grown-ass man standing next to her and thought better of it. But she was going to do it. She was going to hit that woman in the face. And that's how you know it has nothing to do with virtuousness and purity. It's all about insecurity and that woman being in better shape and looking better than her, and that making her feel bad about herself. So she wanted to punch that woman in the face, hurt her in the beauty. Because, you know, she's looking in the woman's face, and woman's also more beautiful than her. And she can't tell that woman, well, you should walk around with your face covered at all times because, well, then she couldn't be an anti-vaxxer, an anti-masker, right? So, like, she can't do that. Probably rethinking that position now, you know, cover up all the beautiful women so she doesn't have to feel bad about herself. Like, it's crazy. Someone needs to get these women in check. Like, free therapy for everyone who's ever been called a Karen. We need to fix that.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I thank you all for tuning in tonight for another episode of Article Reactions. We're here every Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We got that Ken, we got that Karen just waiting on you. So do tune in, everybody. You guys stay safe out there, and don't be a stranger. Ha ha. And until next week, peace.
Cheers, y'all.